morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Good morning. Will, John, Chris. Hello. Welcome, Milmer. Good morning. Max, good morning. Good morning, David. How's everybody doing? Enrico, hey. Good to see everybody. Let's see what we have going on here. It's running a little bit behind this morning, but let's see. I need to check a couple things here. I have a couple little things I need to mark up here real quick before. Let me go to my 5-minute chart. Put in my 8:30 opening price here. And my midnight. And let's see right quick if we have a, yep, big old opening range gap here. There we go. All right. So, if we look at the weekly chart, yesterday we did have our open, right? We had our open here, and we did go up, and we are expanding down for now. So let's see if we keep trying to work our way down into these imbalances throughout the rest of the week. It's kind of what I'm waiting or watching to see if that's going to happen. Big volume imbalance here. What I did was also on the daily chart here. So we have all this gapping. So it might be, let me see, it might be a little hard to see because I have so many lines on here right now. But what I did was, this was the start. So right here, I have it marked basically as a fair value gap. All right, so I marked it here. And since it gapped like all the way up to this point here, I took the 4 quadrants in that. So right here, this little pinkish line is going to be the midpoint of that entire, I guess, imbalance area right here. So here's the midpoint, which we did drop down into. So I'm wondering if, I'm waiting to see, well, of course we have our open, and we have definitely expanded lower. So I want to see if we're going to be able to expand past that, or what's going to happen here at this area. So that's what I'm looking at on the daily. The 4-hour, we have a couple of, we have this big fair value gap right here, 2 of them on the 4-hour. The 1-hour, basically I'm looking at the structure here. And, you know, obviously we are pulling back into, we hit this new week opening gap, this big one here, and we have this fair value gap on the 1-hour. So I'm waiting to see if we're going to come back up into that. I think there's a good chance we do, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll go to the 15-minute here. Again, just expanding down. Now on the 15-minute, we're still inside the London range. We have the London high here, the London low. At the moment, this is pretty much going to be my sell side liquidity. This low here. We did have these lows. Let's see, what do we have here? 684 on this one, and this one is 84.50. So this made a lower low. This could be maybe potentially a minor sell side liquidity right here. But I do have this lower one here at 645. I'm thinking would be the better sell side liquidity area. Let me mark this low here just in case if that's as low as it wants to go. So I'm going to mark it as a minor sell side liquidity there. But I have buy side up here. We have relative equal highs, a lot of smoothness up here. We do have these fair value gaps right in here, this inversion. So we'll see. I'm not very convinced yet that we're going to just keep going down at the moment. So especially with all this smoothness up here, I'm thinking, even if we do continue down throughout the day or week, like this area right here is pretty suspect to me. So I'm under the belief that we may come back up here before expanding down. So we'll see. But I do believe we're going to continue down, though. Good morning, everybody. Welcome in. Right now, just going through the chart analysis still. We do have an opening range gap we gapped down, so we'll see what we do there. Okay, so pretty much I'm just going to... What chart? Just watch this area and look for the signs that we may go up. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking more towards the long side for the morning session. Let me refresh my chart here real quick to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. And I hope everything's okay over there, John. I hope y'all hope y'all stay safe. The typhoon, that's being over here in the Gulf area, south of Houston. I'm pretty well aware with hurricanes and all that. A lot of experience. So stay safe out there. And as y'all saw in the title, probably, I am going to be giving away 5 Apex evals later in the stream. So make sure y'all be ready for that. The good old Nightbot. Nightbot's coming for the entries. All right, so you can see we left these two fair value gaps here at the open. Ran up in them. Right now, I'm pretty much just sitting on my hands until it makes it obvious that on what we're going to do. What is this? See, look at this little gap right here. I don't think that's real. I think that's my data here. Let me refresh. Yeah. There we go. I know Will hates that Nightbot. The Nightbot personally attacked him last time. That was funny. Look, it's already on him right now. That's funny. All right, let's see what we get here. Again, like I said, I have this as a minor sell side liquidity, so I'm not, very convinced this is as low as it's going to go. So if I look back here at this time at right after the London session, that's where we hit this midpoint of that daily fair value gap. Well, it's the combination of all the gapping. So we'll see right there. We had these lows. Let's see what's this low? 684.50. Oh, that's the two lows that I just looked at. 684. So this was relative equal lows right here. Is that right? 684.50. And this one was 684. Yeah. So this one was a little bit lower than that one. So not quite relative equal lows, but this was some minor sell side liquidity there. We did come back through it. Now you see we're kind of doing our thing here. I am liking this move up to 792 though. That area. Let's see if we get a fair value gap right here. This one in the next 40 seconds. Right there. If we get that, let's see what this would look like. About a 40-point stop to the low of that. Swing low would be 56. 43 to this swing low. And then buy side, there's a nice move in here. Unless if it just runs straight up there. And it might just run straight up there, so we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, it might not play nice again. It might just go straight up there. However, I am overall more bearish. I think we will continue down ultimately throughout the next couple days. So if we do just run up this buy side and take this buy side and head into this 1 hour fair value gap, I might, and then it shows something very obvious to go short, then I may consider that as well. But see, now we have this double 1 minute fair value gap, which I cannot take up here because there's no way I'm taking a trade to go long from up here and have to have a huge stop. So I'm just going to have to kind of watch this and see what happens. I am watching the 15-second chart, Will, by the way. I've been watching it. It's looking good. It is looking good. But for everybody that's been a part of that conversation and watching that conversation and been involved with this 15-second chart, don't just take trades without doing plenty of back testing, because that's what I've been doing for a little while now. Just watching it, getting comfortable with it, using it. So and that may be all it needs to do is go in there. Well, that's what you always do, Chris. You're the Mr. YOLO. If anybody says long, he YOLOs 100 contracts long out of nowhere. So all right, Will. Yeah, see, Will's been back testing it for a year. Did you take this long, Will? The reason why I ask is because if you go to the 15-second chart, yep, I figured you did. If you go to the 15-second chart, we pulled back into this 1 minute, right? And then we have a change in the state of delivery here. And then right up in here, this would be a long. And then you could have a smaller stop right here at this swing low on this 15-second chart. Aim for buy side liquidity or, whatever it is. Well, I guess it'd be, yeah, you'd probably go long right around here, huh? 768 or so. As soon as this bar closed. So that's what I'm watching. That's what I'm watching there. Not trading it yet, like Chris YOLOing, but I'm just watching those. Yeah, Chris, there's a difference between YOLO and risk, by the way. And see, I like this. I'm not taking those entries yet. And this entry here on this 1 minute, I can't trade this. I can't take this because for my entries, I would have to enter here and literally have a stop, a 75-point stop. So that's a no-go for me. But that's a way to use the 15-second chart for smaller entries or to catch entries, smaller stops. And it's not something that's just purely made up. Will, like he said, has been backtesting it for a year. And not to mention, on the 2024 mentorship, Ice-T does show how to use that 15-second chart as well. Unless you're Chris, don't just jump into it. I'm never going to let you go, Chris. Man, my allergies with all this weather change has been just driving me crazy. Yeah, NQ is not playing nice. And think about this, too. If you have entries that you have smaller stops, that's a way, if you want to take more than one trade, that's a way to work that out with money management. You can definitely work that out. I've always, like right now, my risk every day is at least 40 points. I know I can risk 40 points max. So if I take a trade and I risk 15 or 20 points, I mean, I can take another trade if I want, as long as I don't go over that 40 points. Now look how we're right back in the middle of this this 1 minute fair value gap. It's still too much risk for me to take this higher one. I either need it to come down to this lower one or just not take a trade. And honestly, if it comes down to this lower one, I really don't like that. It shouldn't come down to this lower one, but taking a long up here is too much risk for me. But now that we're making this swing low here, if we get another fair value gap in here, because I don't think we're just going to stop at this buy side liquidity up here. If we keep going up, I believe we're going to go into this 1 hour fair value gap. And then we still have the midnight opening price all the way up here and the opening range gap, the middle of it up there. I don't know if we'll make it up that high, but I don't think we're just going to this buy side liquidity. I think we can reach up higher. Yeah, see, there you go. See, Will got a 15-point loss out of this, but now you have a choice. You can, not you, Will, but in general, people doing this, you have a choice. You can accept just a smaller loss, or you can take another trade. Like, let's say it's just NQ's not playing nice. Yes, the direction is right? Like, I think, I mean, it looks like we're going to head up here, right? It's just NQ is not quite playing nice. So you have a choice if you're taking multiple entries like that. Like, you can wait and see if you get another entry, and then take, you know, the risk to try to get up there, because it probably will get up there. That'd be my expectation anyways. It's just it overshot into here, came back into this 1 minute fair value gap to the midpoint of it. Yeah, see, it's going to get up there. There it goes, right on up there. Let's see, let me go to this 15-second. And you got to be pretty good with the change in the state of delivery, though, if you're going to do that as well. So you got to pretty much know what that is and how to spot it. Yeah, look at it. It's going up. At this point, I'm just going to, like, even if we get this little fair value gap right here, even if we get this and we come back to it before going up there, I'm just letting this go now. It's still early. It's 9:51 now. I'm just letting this go. And I'm going to, because overall I still think we're going to come down. I just really felt like we needed to run this buy side internal range liquidity first, probably reach up into this 1 hour fair value gap. So once we get up in this area, I'll start looking for some shorts. I mean, just because I think over the next few days we'll expand lower. So we'll see. And if nothing plays out, nothing plays out. But if it does, then great. Oops. Got in at 780-ish. Okay, yeah, that's what I was looking at. I just wasn't sure if... Yeah. Nice. 780. So you made back probably what you lost, plus you probably doubled what you lost, right? I'd imagine. If you were in at around 780, took about 40 points. There you go, just like that. Good job, Will. And that's the power of this 15-second chart. Because I know y'all have seen me many times where I'm like, I have this target. I'm like pretty sure it's going to get there. And sometimes it just comes down, takes me out, and eventually goes up. And, you know, that can be frustrating. I'm sure everybody's had trades like that where you know where it's going. You're pretty sure. You get in. It knocks you out. I know Chris yesterday had the same thing happen where it ticked him out like by a couple ticks and continued his direction, hit his target. That happens to a lot of people. And this gives you that opportunity to get back in that move because, you know, the markets do that sometimes. They're after you, right? They come, knock you out, and keep going. And this gives you the opportunity to make it back. Have, you know, turn your days green. Yeah, nice. So you still wait for another. So that's what Will's talking about. He waits for another change in the state of delivery. If it hits a fair value gap again, it's not just an automatic entry. It hits it again. You wait for another change in the state of delivery. So I imagine you were waiting for price to close probably above this area right here. If I'm correct in my assumption, Will. So once we closed right up here about this candle, I'd imagine 780.75. This one, as soon as that closed and we went above it, you probably entered, is my guess, from my understanding. And then took profit right there at that 1 hour. Hey, that's awesome. And for those of you that's been around since before so Will just confirmed. Will's the master of the 15-second chart, y'all. If y'all have questions, my Discord, Will is dropping some knowledge, man. I'm telling you. That's the power of community, right? Like, I'll speak on other things, but Will, if somebody's been doing something for longer than you and they've got a lot of results and data, you should probably listen. That's what I did. So thanks, Will. But also, if for those of you that know that before I started trading ICT concepts, I traded with the Apex Sniper system. And with that system, the way I used to trade, I mean, I waited for a lot of confirmations in my trades. And basically this 15-second chart is just confirmations. And that's why I like it a lot, because it's confirmation. You're trading the 1 minute chart, but the 15-second chart gives you confirmations on when to take your trade, when to get in. It has more rules, and that's what I like. I like rule-based trading, because to me, if you have rule-based trading, which I have now, but this 15-second chart, I'm really thinking it's going to be something, because it adds more sets of rules and more confirmation. Because also, let me go back to that 1 minute chart. Because normally, these two fair value gaps right here, this one and this one, or you can combine them for one big fair value gap. There's probably a 2 minute gap there. But anyways, these two, you have a choice. Like, there's rules, but you either have to enter here. Once it hits that, then you have your stop down here. Huge stop, right? However you want to do it. Or, I mean, yeah, you can wait and you can let it hit the midpoint. You can wait a little bit, but typically, if you don't wait on these fair value gaps, there's a lot of times it's just going to run away without you. So most of the time, people are just going to enter as soon as it hits it, like right there. Or you can wait for the lower one, but this is what's going to happen if you wait for the low one. If you wait for it to go to the lower one, it's just going to go to into the higher one and run without you. If you don't wait, then a lot of times it's going to run to the lower one. I'm just kidding on that part. That just seems like that's what happens to me. But really, that is your choice. Either enter as soon as it goes in, wait to see if it goes to the lower one, or wait a little bit and see if it wants to work a little bit inside that fair value gap or in the upper half, and then get in at some point. Or, like what Will's doing, use the 15-second chart to wait for a change in state of delivery, and then, you know, you're adding more confirmations and rules to it. So, good job, Will. I love it. Nice, Tony. You used the sniper system with ICT. So that's how I started. I started ICT in a few years ago, and it was October, and I combined the two for 2 months. It was actually really good. I'm not gonna lie, but I wanted to be able to rely on nothing, no indicators or anything, just on my eyes and price action. So I knew I wanted to wean myself off of it. But after 2 months, I still remember the day when I closed my simplicity chart and I was like, yep, that's it. And it was one of the scariest things, because I felt like I was just diving off the deep end with no life jacket anymore. And hey, I swam. So, but that's good. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Like Will said, it's helped slow down. You would think, so people would think the opposite. Like, oh, 15-second chart, I bet it's like crazy and wild. And well, it's really not the way he's doing it, because he's still technically trading the 1 minute chart, but the 15-second chart is, like he said, is slowing him down, because now he's not just entering. He's not just jumping in a trade because he hit a fair value gap. He's waiting. He has more confirmations he's waiting on. So, yeah, that's awesome. I'm pretty sure, like, I'd say 90% sure at this point that I'm going to pretty much be implementing this and doing it the same way. I just have to, you know, get comfortable with it and see it over and over and over. That's how I train myself with these charts. And that's why I will always say, just watching price action, watching the charts, there's no replacement for that. Like, you can't chart time, you can't replace that. You can't, you know, skip that, jump forward. There's so much just by watching the charts operate, you know, the candles paint, that you just can't get unless you actually do that. So so that's what I'm doing. That's why I haven't started taking those trades yet, because I'm watching, and then I'll start doing it. And that's what I recommend anybody, not just for what I'm talking about here, but any type of trading, whatever trading you're doing, whatever market. And that's why I don't just jump into another market, because not every market's going to just operate and move the exact same way as NQ. So gold, natural gas, NG, whatever, CL, oil, all those are going to have different, the way they move is just going to be a little bit different at different times, because remember, time and price is important. So anyways, guess that was my morning spill. So here, let's see. Let's go ahead and look at any higher price targets, because this was a beautiful move. Good job, Will. Man, you grabbed that one. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. All right, now I do want to see. I mean, it could go up too, because we have this nice buy side liquidity that we left up here with yesterday's high. I just don't think with all the, I mean, hey, anything's possible with the way the markets have been lately. But I mean, with all the imbalances and everything, for me, I think we're going to keep going down overall, but that doesn't mean we're not going to go up here, because this is some pretty clean buy side liquidity up here. Relative equal highs from yesterday's high, and then let's see, Friday morning, it looks like. Could come after that. It could. But other than that, we have, if I'm going to take this dealing range we have now, from this high down to this low, let's see where the midpoint is. Equilibrium is right here. We do have, like I said, we still have the opening range gap because we gapped down. We have the midpoint here. Now we have equilibrium of this dealing range right here. We do have yesterday's low. I mean, today could be an up day. It could be an up close day. And then, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, continue down. As you can see on the daily chart, it has been in this bit of a accumulation pattern here. So it could be. It could be. I'm not ruling it out. So it needs to be an obvious move for me, basically. Yeah. The top of this 1 hour is 25,900. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And then if you zoom out on the 1 hour too, I mean, look at this price action here. We have a nice big dealing range right here on this 1 hour, then that huge new week opening gap that we haven't been able to really do anything with. That's why I've been kind of relying more so on my lower time frame charts. But yeah, it hasn't been the best. Yeah, they typically do whole numbers like 900. We used to call them the double zeros, triple zeros. Basically psychological levels. All right, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get this, get Will's best friend ready. The Nightbot for the giveaway here. All right. It's going to be the same command right there that y'all can go ahead and start getting your entries in. And man, if y'all can pass these evals before tomorrow ends, $40 PAs, man, I can't get over that. I just wish I had a bunch of evals ready to go. $40 evals. All right, so I'm watching here. Don't want to get too eager. Like I said, it's got to be something obvious. I do like this price action, but I want to see. And we have a big 5-minute fair value gap in here as well. So gotta be careful going short right now. It's gotta be pretty obvious. All right. Yeah, that would be nice. Well, but you'd be, well, maybe not surprised, but I was going to say there's a lot of people that they hit their, for whatever reason, they'll hit their target on an eval and they don't stop trading. I've seen it. I don't know if maybe it's because they didn't realize it or what. So, which, by the way, man, I need to do this. This week. I'm gonna do this review on the Affordable Indicators copier because this thing is just awesome. But if you have evals, you can actually even set it up. Well, not just evals, but the evals and funded accounts. It knows all of the prop firms, like I guess numbers and rules and everything. And what it does is, you can set it to where that way when you hit your funded amount, it'll literally lock you out. Like if it requires $3,000 to get funded, once you hit $3,000 and it's an eval, it'll lock you out. And whatever prop firm you're using, it knows the numbers. And then also, if you have a funded account, let's say you cross your payout threshold, if you want it to, you can toggle it on. It'll lock you out. And then even if you have a mistake and you click, like you decide to uncopy it, but you forgot to unlink it, right, as a follower, and you hit that payout threshold and you have it selected as a risk management, even if you try to trade it, it'll still not take the trade with that. It'll protect you. So this copier, I mean, it is awesome. To me, it's by far the best right now in copiers. And it's not a cloud-based, it's local, so you don't have any lag to go through servers on your orders. And it's just a one-time cost. They have different cells and stuff, but man, I'm 1,000% recommending that copier now. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I'm gonna do a full review video on it, and because I want I think it's so useful, and like you know me, I only do like full review stuff on things that I actually use and things that I think are worth it. Um, and also I may try to get with Joel, the owner of the tool, to do a little video with him. But the thing's amazing. All right, so we are coming down, but see, we got to watch this big 5-minute fair value gap right here. This is the 5-minute chart. I want to keep this one in mind because we got to see what we do here. It's got to be pretty obvious, and also because if you look at it, like we don't have, this is the last swing low on this 1-minute chart, right? Like, yeah, we have a little bit of a swing low right here, but I don't trust this as a market structure shift. We very well could pull back somewhere and then come back up. So what I would want to wait for is if we have something like this, I want to see another swing low being created and then come back up and maybe even give us a failure swing where it doesn't take these highs, and then look for displacement lower with a fair value gap somewhere. That would be my preferred. Would I prefer to happen if I go short? And even if, like, this 5-minute fair value gap, I don't need it to become an inversion first, but I would like to see it willingly trade through it, like at least trade through it and come back up. In the 5-minute chart, I don't need it necessarily to have a closure below it on the 5-minute, but I do want to see it trade through it and come back up. However, we got to be a little bit careful too, because in 2 minutes, we'll get a nice 15-minute fair value gap right here as well. And y'all know me, I don't like trading. Like if we have a brand new, fresh, higher time frame fair value gap form right here, I don't like, and it's a BISI, basically to go up. I don't like shorting straight into it. Even though we can trade through it, but I don't like shorting right into it because to me that's a lower probability. It's lower probability there. There you go, Will. That heart rate indicator. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all are entering in for the drawing using that command there. Put it in there again. Make sure you enter in if you have not. Testing that the midpoint of the 1 hour fair value gap again. We'll see what we do here. See, now we've created this swing here. So, doesn't mean we're coming down, but that's what I was wanting to at least happen before. I mean, there's no fair value gaps in here, even, that I even consider shorting, but it's at least, I wanted this, that way, if it does go down, I want some displacement now to go down, leaving me a nice fair value gap in there. But like I said, NQ is not playing real nice, so it may or may not. clear off some of these. And we still have, because we still have the opening range gap, the midpoint of it are up here. We still have the midnight opening price up here. I mean, we have a lot of reasons that it could just continue up. And it's just stalling out because of that 1 hour fair value gap there. So it very well could just keep going up. And we do have that 15-minute fair value gap here. So if you look on the 15-minute chart, it's looking like we're going to go up because we have basically a failure swing here. It took this sell side liquidity right down here, came up, took all the buy side, all the highs, leaving a fair value gap. So potentially we could see it return into this fair value gap and then continue higher based on the 15-minute here. Do this, continue up. So yeah, so that's why I would not be too eager to take a short yet, or right now. So I'd want to see if we do come back down into this 15-minute fair value gap, if it works its way here, and then if it gives a long higher. That might be the move. Anybody else take any trades yet? So, Will, are you done for the day then? Or are you still looking for, or do you still look until basically lunchtime? You're short right now? Oh, gold. Short gold. Nice. Let's see. What's gold doing? You're short gold. Okay. Here's gold. That 1 minute fair value gap. You got a little market structure shift right here, little fair value gap. I'm assuming you shorted this right there, Chris. You got to include the volume balance. Shorted that, aiming for this low. 39.60 at 10.04. Yep. Cool. Right there. Good luck. Oh, the one before that. $10.04. Oh, right in here. This one. This area right in here. All right. We're going to chant. Chris, 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 Chris. All right, so we didn't go into the 15-minute fair value gap, which is okay. But let's see what we do here. All right, looks like we have about... We need more entries. I don't think everybody entered for a free eval. Well, I know Chris probably didn't, but if you're on, you want a free eval, you want your chance, put in the command there. Exclamation mark beast in capitals. Actually, I don't know if it matters if you use capitals or not, but go ahead, just in case. All right, so here's what I want to watch with this. I want to see if we're going to take these highs. If not, we may be setting up for this being long-term high, this swing being a short-term high, this being an intermediate-term high. And then if we come down, create another short-term high, then we'd basically be looking like a structure, a bearish structure on the 1 minute to head further down. Potentially. So, and then after that, I would look for a fair value gap in here. There we go. So let's see if something shapes up. So I'm always trying to anticipate stuff like that. Doesn't mean it will. I know we have this little fair value gap that just formed here. It's not something I'm loving, though. It's not something I'm loving. Like, I wouldn't want to take a trade off that because, like I said, we have this 15-minute fair value gap right here, not too far away, so it could come back into it. Nice, Tony. Good job. 950 macro to the 10 a.m. high. Awesome. So this probably is going to go higher from here. Especially if we take this swing high right here. Then we're going to go up. Continue up, in my opinion. Yeah. Still hesitant on it. Let me see now what our opening range looks like. This is going to be our low. Oops. Wrong tool. It's going to be our low. Where's 10 a.m.? Here's 10 a.m. And it's going to be our high. So there's our opening range, and here's the midpoint of it here. We're still within our, and that's another thing. Like, we still are inside that opening range, that 9:30 to 10 a.m. time frame. So it basically created it, and all it's really done is just wick above it so far. Here's this pullback. Yeah, Not loving anything. Not loving it right now. It's got to become very obvious, but it. And as y'all have probably seen lately, it's like we'll get a move very early in the after the open, and then the market just like dies. So that's another thing. If I don't get it, like that 950 macro move, or even say like 935, 940, something in that opening range. If I don't get something in there, I'm really kind of more hesitant to not take a trade, to be honest, lately, because unfortunately, it's just been doing that a lot where it just dies afterwards. It's like, okay, done. And that's where a lot of people can just get chopped up for the rest of the day, you know, trying to take moves that are just not going to happen. So, and you got to think about it, with none of these reports and things going on, you know, to affect the news and all that, we just really have that opening volatility most of the days. And outside of that, there's no real catalyst unless we get some kind of random news come out. But yeah. Max, yeah. Hey, it's good that you made profit though. But yeah, I know what you mean. There's times I've done that. Like, all right, let me go ahead and move into profit or to break even. It's like, it might be too soon. Might be too soon. And then it tags you and you're like, dang it. Man, see, this still rejection at this opening range. Oh, I hate that. It's because I use a fib. So it depends if I go from low to high or high to low. I got to do it correctly. There we go. Just change those. So people don't think I'm crazy and think that's the low and this is the high. You know, you'll get somebody out there, see my chart and say, what do you mean that's the low? And to be honest, like, for the rest of the year, we're coming up on holiday season. Man, you gotta have some, just have patience and know that it could be tough. And for me, the last 2 years, the last 2 weeks of December has always been very tough. So I'm seriously considering this year to not trade the last 2 weeks of December. Only trade the first week or two of December. And it sucks, but man, yeah. And especially by then, I should have a bunch more PAs. I don't want to, risk stuff with that. But yeah, there you go, Will. Yeah, sell high and buy low. All right, it is 10:30, so I'm going to go ahead and do this drawing here for everybody. Get our winners going. And so what I need, though, whenever after the winners, I'm going to put my email in, just like I've been doing. And you're going to need to email me, but also email me a screenshot of your YouTube handle, showing you inside your YouTube. That way I know it's you. Haven't got anybody trying to claim winners that's not theirs yet, but I know at some point that's going to happen. But yeah, go ahead and here we go. I'm going to go ahead and choose some winners here. and then email me, and I'll get you your code sent over. All right, so our first winner is Greasy. Congratulations, Greasy. You got a free eval. All right, we're going to go winner number 2. Winner number 2 is Erland. Congratulations, Erland. And these evals are good for any size. You can use any size. However, you want to use them before the end of the month. Claim it before the end of the month. All right, so now winner number 3 is Tony. Congratulations, Tony. And we're going to go for winner number 4, Milmer. Congratulations, Milmer. Okay. And our final winner of the day goes to John. Man, John is on a roll. I think you won the last couple times. Good. Congratulations. I guess it paid off being on the stream, even though you couldn't trade today. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and put in my email here for those of you that don't have it. It's going to be swinter@futuresniperbeast.com. So shoot me over that email, and I'll get you your code. Congratulations, and I'm going to do some more of these. I have some more evals that I'll be doing, so just be on the lookout for that. And with that being said, can I have this email? What do you mean, can I have this email? Oh. You already have that email, Chris. Actually, I don't know if you do. All right, so I am watching this, but like I said, I'm not too excited about a short anywhere, because we're going to go right into this 15-minute fair value gap. I'm not loving price action, so I'm not expecting much. Not really expecting much. Like I said before, by 10:30, I want to have had my trade, or at least be very close to, or be in a trade, or be very close to taking a trade. But if we come back into this 15-minute fair value gap, I'll see how we work price action in here, and then see if we potentially get a long out of there. Or if we come straight through it and invert it, basically, create an inversion, then we may continue short. But that might not happen until the afternoon, if that happens. So we'll see. We shall see there. Erlen, just send an email and take a screenshot of your YouTube handle, like showing that basically your YouTube login that shows your name there, Erland. Just send a screenshot with that, because not everybody's email is going to be their name here on YouTube. So just take a screenshot of that showing that that's your YouTube account. Yeah, Chris, I just flipped over to your gold trade. Yeah, it looks like it's Is your stop up at that swing high at around 69.6 or so? All right, y'all. I'm gonna jump off here. It's been my hour. Y'all know I stream for about an hour. And if I don't get anything, then I hop off. So, all right, y'all. I'll look for those emails in the next 30 minutes to an hour, or after you send it. I'll get those out as fast as possible within the next 30 minutes. So I'll get those out, and everybody get them funded. Get them funded. Get that $40 PA. So everybody else, if you're going to keep trading, as always, trade well, everybody, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.